Yo, just wanted to do a quick follow-up on the last video because it just right out after I pressed stop recording of the video, I realized what the problem was. So I just want to cover that and also include some thoughts on that stuff that I did. So with the snapping, because I just realized that there's actually a very easy way to just put some code in a more central place and then simplify the way it looks. It's not going to make things look run fast or anything, but it's just going to make it a little bit nicer to look at and maintain, of course. So inside the I think it's a physical dialog, I added in this static mesh beam. And the thing is, I left the collision presets at block all. So I was blocking everything, and that was the reason why I was doing that constant rumbling. So now when I hold my hand over it, it's not gonna do that anymore. Also, one other thing I changed in the meantime was actually to set introduce this F round whenever I make these, and it is totally not necessary, but I think it's still okay to have them. Okay, so I just had a look at the code as well, and I realized that okay, I have just copied two entire big sections of code which only differ at some very small places, like how I place what I do with this value here and what I do with this value here. Is just all that is different. So most of this stuff here is really the same. So I thought, okay, so why am I doing it here? Why did I copy everything like that? And to be honest, we don't need to. All we need to do, because in all that is different, at least in the snap to ends section here, and I think it's worth talking about because it's just a nice thing to do whenever you find yourself copying things. So all that is different is really this part here. So if we decouple this stuff here for a second and just think about what this is doing. So this is taking a float and it's setting the world rotation location. So if we take this out and we are in the physical slider now, and then we collapse this to a function, and which we will call set slider location, like that, and it takes in a value. Then we have a better, I would say, way of doing this. So let's keep it here for a second, and let's just have a look at this stuff here down here, because that is also exactly the same. So we could just replace that stuff down here. That alone does not fix things, because we still have this if round stuff that we need to do something with. So what I'm suggesting we do at this point here is to copy all of this stuff here. I'm just going to copy it now because I'm not entirely sure this is the best way to do it, but let's try that. We're going to copy this to the BP mover and paste it in here. And we just need to make sure or double check where we do this, because we do this currently do this before we do the rest of the stuff down here. Which might actually be a problem now that I think about it. Except we could add a you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add in a might do it as a function. Let's do it as a function. That is probably the best to do. Add rewrite node. We're going to do something like this. So we're going to make a function out of this, which we're going to call set handle snap to ends. Oops. Okay. And that function we are going to call we're going to delete it from here, but we're going to call it on the physical mover. Let me just check. I think it's most safe to call it here actually. Yeah, let's get rid of this one. Let's get rid of the handle snap to, or decouple it just for a moment so we don't lose anything. So we do all this refactoring. So handle snap to ends. So this is going to call the base function on our BP mover here. Handle snap to ends, this function here. And right now it's not really doing anything, but we want it to return something. So we're going to do a return here. And what we want it to do is to return that new value, or just the value like that. And in this case here, return a value. And if this is not true, I'm just gonna think about how I'm gonna do this the best way, because what I want to do is to set the slider location afterwards, and if I don't pass that value through, then it's gonna do weird things. So actually I'm gonna do this. Return, and then we're gonna return the value itself, because that means that it's not gonna snap to anything. So it's just gonna pass that value right through. I'm just gonna make sure. And here we don't have a return. And it's going to show up this warning here. So if this is not valid, it's well, technically we should do a return here and do the same return as this one. It's not really needed in this case, but I just hate not to have a return. So we should probably have something like this. And that way it's got the base function is going to be put away here, and what it's going to do actually is going to happen inside this function here. So that way we've just gotten rid of all this stuff here and can just get rid of that. So we can simplify things that way, and also just replace that in our rotator the same way. Let's do that. So I'm just going to copy this part out here, because that's the only thing that we really need, and then we can get rid of this. So snap to ends, and we're going to call handle snap to ends. And yeah, well, It's super simple, this one. Just, what did I call it in here? Set slider location. Why does this one look different? Ah, because, yeah, okay. Set slicer says set rotator transform. Like that. Rotator transform is a bad term, I just realized, because we deal with rotators. Okay, shit. That's really annoying. Fuck. Okay, can't be bothered right now. It's too late. This is your angle. Okay. So we should do something similar with the slider. I don't know if you, I'm not going to do anything more interesting now other than just switch it out for this tick mover snap. So if you know what I'm going to do, then you can just skip the rest. Really, it's not going to be too interesting. Except. Because here I check the linear velocity and I need to figure out a way if I want to check the physics linear velocity or the angular velocity, because that is kind of part of this, but we can just do that as a parameter really. All the rest here is the same. We end up doing something with this value here, and that's basically all we do here. So again, select this stuff here, and was it the X or the C? It was the X. I'm getting a little bit confused here. So these two guys here, and collapse to a function and call this set. Oh, you know what? I got this function already. I don't need to do that. I forgot. So we already got this part here. That's completely the same. So it's just this part here that we need to copy and dump in the BP mover and call something else. Why do I keep doing that? Handle mover snap ping. Why not? And here we need to give it a parameter if we want to use the physics linear velocity or the angular velocity. So angular velocity. But I'm guessing we could just add these two together, because if it's a slider, then the angular velocity is going to be 0, and if it's a linear, if it's a rotator, you know what? I'm pretty sure we can just add these two together. Do like this, and then plug that in here, and we actually need to put them one after each other like this. I'm pretty sure this is going to work out pretty okay anyway. Like this. Check that. Greater than or less than that, and then do that. So we are going to return a float, and we're going to call that the out value. And if this is not, then it's just going to return the value itself. Pretty sure this is going to work out pretty fine. Let's just assume it works and call it. So call handle mover snapping and set slider location like that. And we're going to do the same for the, what did I do there? For the rotator, handle mover snapping, set rotator, rotate or transform. I'm gonna call this set mover transform instead. That name was bothering me. Okay, let's save all and see if things still work. Huh. They are not working at all. Fuck. What did I do now? What the fuck did I do? Oh my god. I screwed it up. I screwed it up, didn't I? I found Actually, I think. Let me check something. Let me just try one thing. Snap. Yes. Don't snap. And this one. Snap. Yes. Snap. Yes. Don't snap. So if I do like slider and I probably need to make a check here. So only snap if this is true and only snap if this is true. Let's see if this works. Okay, so this is a slider I just did. So I need to go over to the slider. Okay. It's not really working. This one is false. Should we snap? Well, one thing for sure, we don't need to pass this one if we don't do anything. I'm just wondering why this does not work now. Taking out the value and setting it in. Oh, why did I move it to the C? What the fuck? That's weird. Well, it does seem to work. I was also really surprised if it wouldn't. You know, when you do these operations, you definitely want to check your things again. And that probably means I don't need that branch. Let me just... Whoops. Not values. This one. Let me just drag that in again. And get rid of this. I don't really like that construct. Oh, but it is necessary. Huh. Oh, wait a second. Hang on a sec. Is this because the movers? No. Okay, so I'm actually a little bit puzzled why this does not work. Okay, but anyway, I am accepting it. I can't really figure out why. My head is refusing to understand this, so I am just gonna accept it for now. And just use this. Where'd it go here? Oh, okay. So we need a branch here. Anyway, apparently. And we need a branch here. Then it works. Okay. So be it. Let's remember to add them on rotator as well. Like this, and that should be it. Please. Yeah. Oh well. I'm okay with that. That monstrosity of a thing here, I definitely want to collapse. It's insane. This is what do you call such a thing? Because it's actually setting the value or getting the value and more value. Oh my god, this is really terrible. I should actually move this one in as well, because it's technically part of this one here. Just need to add in the sequence at the beginning here and call that as the last thing we do. So that way it is a little bit better. Okay, I think this is gonna have to do for now. I'm not gonna try and make this nicer. So it does look very innocent when you open it up, kind of, but hidden away you will find tons of stuff. But the thing is, if you don't have snapping on, or you don't have, there's a lot of this stuff that will just get passed because of the branches we have, or these here, and then of course the get move value, we can't really get around that one as needed anyway. I think this is pretty okay for now. So we're gonna move on in the next video to the alternative manipulation mode, I would say, and get twister. Let's call it twister move. This is the twister move value. This is the way we'll get the twist value. And the next time we'll make the get rotation. I'm gonna have to think about a good name for that. Yeah, I'm gonna think about that till next time. Thank you for watching. See you next time.